all good things come to an end, and that unfortunately includes winter vacation, getting to visit my family. Back in Ellensburg now, but this is the last workout I was able to do when I was back home. This is at the new Timber Gym location. Thanks again to Dr. Don Bell for letting me use the facility. Felt really welcome, and it was a really awesome experience getting to try this new place out. Third session in the meet prep, still running this Smolov squat intensive training program with the bench program that I wrote alongside with it, and I'm actually doing something that is pretty different in this time. I've run Smolov 2 times before. I've done benching along with it both times, but I've never tried to incorporate my deadlifts into it because that just seems like a bad idea because of the volume. But after my last time running the program, I got to the meet, and while I did feel stronger, I felt like my technique on my deads was a little rusty because I usually would want to deadlift twice a week, and not deadlifting seriously for a 3-week block and then doing some light work and then taking another 4 weeks off from pulls before going into a meet. It just doesn't feel as good to me, and so I decided that I would do some edits on the volume in these other sessions to make some room for just some technique work. It's not going to be any crazy ground out reps, not even really any set high rep sets or anything like I usually would do for my pulls. Just going to be some weights where I remember what it feels like to deadlift every week throughout, and it's actually kind of nice that it'll end up after squatting and benching because it'll prep me a little bit more at the end of each week for a meet type scenario where I might be tired and fatigued. The way that I did that is I pull out the last few sets from the day 5 and day 6 workouts, and this was the day 5 workout, and I actually had to do some more adjustments because I had to work the day following this all day in the rec center, which was the only time the gym was open, and so an entire workday shift kind of shoots down the ability of me to go and get my other session in, so I had to do everything in this day instead. Long story short, this workout would normally be 7 sets of 5. I've reduced it to a 5x5, and then normally the 10 sets of 3 the following day I've reduced those down to 7 sets of 3. And those aren't really arbitrary numbers. Those are I brought those down because of the amount of reps that I'm dropping out. I wanted to stay consistent. So at the beginning of the week I have my lightest weight. I'm hitting 4 sets of 9, that's 36 reps. My next workout is 5 sets of 7, that's 35 reps. The next workout is going to be this 5x5, that's 25 reps, and then the 7 sets of 3 is going to be 21 reps. And so I'm ramping up the intensity as it goes. I'm bringing down the volume, but the frequency is remaining the same. And so whenever I'm programming, I keep those factors in mind, and adding in 3 to 5 singles on deadlift just to keep my technique going. People have asked me a lot recently what my warm-ups are like for the lifts. People, if they read the description, they see that I generally warm up with singles and really light doubles, and they ask if that's really how I do that or if I'm not including sets. And that's really how I warm up every single one of my lifts. I will do a full body warm-up before my workout. I will usually ride on a recumbent bike for about a half mile. I'll roll out, foam roll, do a little bit of mobility work, and if you have any questions about what that looks like, you can look up my recovery video that I made a couple years ago. It's pretty much the same idea. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't worry about trying to change it. And then I do a little bit of arm bike when I'm at the rec center because we have one that's pretty nice, and then I do a little bit of rowing on a Concept 2 rower. And then my whole body feels warm, and so all I have to do is feel the weights for a single moving up towards my work weights, and that usually goes pretty well. Didn't quite have all that equipment at this facility, so I may do with some other things, but the idea is the same. I warm up before I start lifting, and then lifting is about getting to those top sets and not wasting energy doing sets of 10 reps at a weight that I don't see the point of for me personally. So you saw I did the squats today. The work sets were 5x5 at 490. Felt pretty good about it. Definitely surprised at how well I'm handling the weights with the volume as it's been going this week and the frequency. And then this was 8 doubles at 345 for my bench. It's the weight accommodation program that I wrote for myself. And then this is a 605 for 4 singles on deadlift afterwards. With the first 2 sets I did without a belt, the last 2 sets I did with a belt. Just because I didn't. There's not really a reason for that. I didn't want to tire my back out any more than it already had been, I guess, and felt like I had done enough work with the first, the squats in the first 2 sets that I didn't even need to worry about my core getting that extra bit of activation without. You see though that I had to put the weights down gently because Dawn's going to go through and reinforce the floor underneath, because they were doing some cleans and snatches the first day that I was in here, the Olympic weightlifting people that he brought over, and they kind of mashed up their floor a little bit. So I was trying to be really gentle as you can be with a 600-pound deadlift, to make sure that I didn't create a problem when I used those bumper plates. But luckily I didn't damage the floor at all, which was pretty nice, and that would have kind of left a sour taste in my mouth as I was leaving a gym where the facility was nice enough to let me even come in there. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was an informative video for you, and if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, rating, share it with your friends who might care about powerlifting programming, because that's something that I care about. Anyway, I apologize for the rambly nature of this. I'm pretty darn tired right now, and it's been a long couple of days, and I will be getting back in the gym for those 4 sets of 9 tomorrow, and we'll have that video up for you soon. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.